Welcome back to the 11th hour. We mentioned earlier the differing messages coming from the acting director of the FBI and the White House on what rank and file employees in the FBI, 36,000 people work for the FBI, thought about former Director James Comey. Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders was pressed about the inconsistency in the briefing room today.
I've certainly heard from a large number of individuals, and that's just myself, and I don't even know that many people in the FBI.
You said now today, and I think you said again yesterday, that you personally have talked to countless FBI officials, employees, since this happened.
Correct.
I mean, really? Like, really? So are we talking
between like email, text messages? Absolutely,
50,
yes.
60, 70?
Look, we're not going to get into a numbers game. I mean, I have heard from a large number of individuals that work at the FBI that said that they're very happy with the president's decision.
What do we define as countless? The New York Times reporter you saw asking the questions in the briefing room there, Michael Shear, is with us tonight, and we were awful happy to have him. Nicole Wallace has been asked to stay behind so she can represent the other side in the communications shop. Michael, what has this done where the challenges of your job are concerned, like compared to a good day in maybe another administration?
Well, look, I mean, let's not paint the previous administrations completely, you know, innocent here. I mean, you know, we had our fights. I mean, I covered all 8 years of Obama, and I had many fights in that room, back and forth with various press secretaries. Nicole certainly knows what it's like to be on the other side in that room, and it can get tense, and it can get, you know, there's a back and forth that always happens. I think the thing that is so striking, and it goes to what you guys were talking about earlier today, is that there is some basic level of trust that you have to have as a reporter and spokesperson. And I think my kind of reaction to Sarah today was the culmination of a couple of days of frustration, where we saw the stories just changing, and we all were sitting in that briefing room really understanding in our core that what they were telling us about the reasons for why the president fired Jim Comey, it didn't make any sense. They didn't make any sense for them from their perspective. And so, you know, when you get down to what is at the end of the day a kind of little fact about, did Sarah Huckabee Sanders, did she talk to countless numbers of FBI agents or not, it just seems like a ridiculous thing and a ridiculous thing to say, and it just felt like it needed to be challenged.
And Nicole, tonight still I saw Trump surrogates on the air talking about how mean Comey had been to Hillary Clinton on the subject of emails. Like they need to update their memos.
Weird. And listen, I used to fight Elizabeth Buemiller, Dick Stevenson, and Peter Baker were the White House correspondents that covered Bush. And the fights we used to have weren't about, I mean, I think that what Michael was trying to do was challenge the veracity of her assertion that she'd heard from countless FBI agents. Now, I don't know how she would know countless FBI agents. I know a little more than a dozen, and I reached out to all of them in the last 24 hours, actually since Tuesday night, and every one of them was and is loyal to Jim Comey. So it's sort of odd that she found countless that were thrilled that he'd been fired. I haven't found any, but I don't know countless. I only know a little more than a dozen. So, you know, when you lose the ability to speak with credibility from behind the podium, you're supposed to leave the podium. And I don't know how they're expected to do their job when, one, they don't check with the president on the way to the briefing room. Two, the president undermines them, throws them under the bus, as does, you know, as this Politico story that we talked about. You know, everyone's willing to throw the press up under the bus. They're brought in an hour before a major announcement. I mean, listen, again, and I'm not speaking from some, you know, place on high. We had plenty of critics in the press and out, but I was never sent out to lie, and if I had, I would have quit.